понять, что это. Вот. Вот теперь можно. Вот теперь хорошо. Так, так. Поделиться. Давай поделимся. Это слишком в Телеграме. Телеграме. Так, ну сейчас пробная версия, а потом поделюсь. Так, заходим. Итак, мы начинаем с субтитров. Не, надо изменить голос. Голос. Вот. Вот так было хорошо. Мы сейчас надо поделиться. Да. Телеграмчик. А как? Что-то сбил? Сейчас. Можно работать дальше. Сейчас. Можно работать дальше. Наверное, сейчас. Можно работать дальше. Так, наверное, что. Можно работать дальше. Так, наверное, что. Можно работать. Вот. Вот так лучше. Ну-ка. Посмотрим. Всем приветики. Приветушки. Привет. Приветули. Приветушки. Ну-ка. Мышка крутится. Начинаем все-таки русский. Мы играли в эту игру. Ну, кто играл на вместе, да, кто играл на вместе. Я играл. Так. Так, вот. Пусть у меня тут будет. Как удобно. А прошло время. Баночку пива.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Так, меня слышно? Так, хорошо меня слышно? Просто сам себя не слышу, надо выйти. Вот. Алло. Алло? Да. Вот так, наверное, можно было выйти. Или мы поговорим, когда вот выйду. Продолжим.
And although others might have considered it soul-breaking, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly.
Алло. Звук. Раз. Да. Алло. Да. Живя в коробке. Нет. Да. Вот так бы слышно мне точно подавал. Стенли. Как мы всегда общались. Где-то
call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and
А что будет, если два диска стола выходить из кабинета? Ну-ка. Картинки. Да. Наверное, ничего не будет происходить, вставай, что выходить. Так, что тут есть? А прыгать нельзя. Блин, зато можно посидеть. Да, почему? Что? Правильно? Вот так вот. Вот так вот. Вот так вот.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Почему я нашел? Смотрите. Тут симка черная, тут белый. Белый? Ладно. Дальше. Вставайте, надо выпить кусочек пивка. Дальше.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
А, вот этот прикольный колик. Попадет вправо.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Компьютер. Ладно. Какая хорошая
Yes, truly a room
комната.
worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Слева? Нет. Прям.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Может, вернемся обратно? Нет. Ну ладно. И
In his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story, Stanley left from the place to his death.
вот
Good
тут.
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Заметьте на часы. Часы. Постановили это время. Ладно, пойдем к
All of his co-workers
Да.
what could it mean?
Так,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
так.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2
Пошли
open
налево.
doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
Сказать
decided
английский язык, почитайте, скажите, что это
he
значит.
might find an answer there.
Блум классит.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked to his boss's office.
Пойдем вниз. Что внизу?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Мы возвращаемся, да?
Observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Как мы будем ходить кругами?
Automatically behind him wherever he went. And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers were actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Мне рассказик стоит. Вот смотрите. Назад не можем пройти. Только вперед. О, стало темнее. Ага, другая комната. Смотрите, время. Вот на наше время 12:44. Нет, не показывает. Фиги одно. Кто хочет, читает. Простите. Опять. Опять так. Это... Хороший трое.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain beyond a doubt that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the multiple stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
Все будет хорошо. Я И что? Ничего?
Please, someone wake me up. My name is I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
Да! Настоящий!
This is the story of a woman named Marianne.
Mariella!
Gathered her belongings and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and
Вот что бывает, когда идешь вниз, а не наверх. Ладно. Мы поняли, что так не надо делать. Послушаем. Послушаем. Так, а у меня вообще есть эти люди, которые смотрят мои трансляции? Без помощи телефона. Не, это не фильм мужского, это очень прикольная игрушка. Вот. Значит, его... Ладно, подожди, пожалуйста, я телефон еще на зарядку поставлю, чтобы там было видно. Так, смотрите, на время примерно вот такое же. А игра очень забавненькая. Это не фильм для ужасов, ни в коем случае, там ничего ужасного даже не будет. Так, так.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ну да, мы это уже слышали сейчас.
Perhaps he had simply
Так,
came to a
так,
set of two
так,
open doors.
так,
He entered the
так,
door on his
так.
left.
Уже две концовки знаем. Это прыгнуть
There was not a single person here.
и стать сумасшедшим спящим на асфальте в городе. Ладно, пойдем наверх. Нет вообще вариант идти.
Boss's office.
Ха, красная комната. Это из 20-30 оттенков серого. Это была красная комната. Так, эксклюзив басрум. Я могу открыть двери. Я могу закрывать двери. Обалдеть. А что нет? Пойдем.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unsettled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 28.
2, 8, 4, 5.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Так. Так. Так.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. To input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly... Two, eight.
2, 8. Так. Так. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, what did he...
Я не успел обратить ссылку. Слушайте, а в Матрице 2? А ну нам туда нельзя. А чё, вверх поехал? Шкаф. А пустой шкаф. И что, не подозревались? Да. Ладно, немножко изменил голос, чтобы быть и праздновать вот такой вот голос. Забавно. Так. Я хотел наверх. Наверх! Почему не наверх?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized
Ну, я когда что полезешь.
to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
А что это было? А где? А вот. А можно обратно? Обратно можно.
And went back up, silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I can't wait to find
Я
out.
тоже хочу знать. Проверил, как начать.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. what a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
2, 4, 5, 8. Ну нет. Ладно. Я знаю, мы покатаемся по лифту. А что будет, если только кататься? Надо посмотреть.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
Не, мы обратно.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the street? It's I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Может, это... Вик? Опять.
It's absolutely Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Похоже на строй. Ладно. Потом на коробочки. Поворот. Продолжим.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. Space in my worldview for this astonishing movie. Of course, going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted. Anticipated. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
А сейчас гадайте, что будет. Поднимите до верха. Мужики.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go.
Да, вот такого мы поговорим.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know,
Конечно, интересно.
in fact, nowadays, the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible.
Ну, короче, закрыть.
Explosive.
Вот так представляете, вы спите и видите, что просто едете вниз, вверх-вниз. Такое бывает. Ладно. Очень напряженный голос его слушать. Просто вот так вот. Да нет, вот так. Так сделаем. О. И потише, потише. Да. Таким вот он. Нет. Печально так. Да. Можно? А так можно? Да. 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 Слушайте. Да, и с высоким темпом. Да. Ну, чай. Пойдет. Да. Вполне пойдет. Да. Алло. А ты еще один? Да. Да, блин. Надо вот такой голос. Мы сидим наверх. Вот изменил. Алексей? Но все устроило, не скоро полиции поехать. А постер прикольный. Life on stage. Пойдем, пойдем. Походу они делают. Вот. И все. Привет, Стэнли.
and what it means to craft a true
Похоже на рабочее место, если ты слушаешь.
Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Так нельзя. Пойдем наверх.
Looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Люди. Здорово. Так, вы поняли, что на рельсе так не катаются? Было время, что тоже. Погнали.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
То есть дело в том, что мы просыпаемся. Ладно. Пойдем дальше, мы должны пройти эту игру. А быстро заходить.
When Stanley
Блин.
saw a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Пойдем вправо.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beauty. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Нифига.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ладно.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Для нее.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's all, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
А что будет, если не возьму трубку? Я сам посмотрю. По идее надо брать трубку. По-любому никак. От не выйти. Провод не выдернуть.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see? No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol of the real
Прикольно
world.
сделано.
Did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. If used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example,
А ладно. Да блин, мне серьезно?
machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he can spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. Choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
И очень интересно, в каком-то языке сделано, потому что я не понимаю. Можно спнуть, да? Нет? Нельзя? И давайте обратно. Да? Давай пойдем. Нет? Нет? Ну ладно.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Нет.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, Hurry back to the direction.
Прикольно.
It's not too late.
Ну, ломается реальность, если в дверь. Вот тут, а если пройти, а вот так вот? То есть по-любому.
It's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue,
Да.
worth it?
Стоило.
The story is now incorrect. How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely, to willingly destroy all of my work?
По-доброму.
It's the answer. What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Просто наркотики. Получается?
I'm here. I'm still here in this pile of rubbish, with you, who thought you were so clever. Now here we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? It wants to be like Stanley. He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it?
Вот что если дети делают дверь.
That story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... It's exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Блин. Он такой. Пойди вправо.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Даже круто.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Ладно, это просто спекулум.
Always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he
Здесь мы
would
уже
find
ходили.
someone. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Разговор.
life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Nine shark 115.
Okay, fine. You're not gonna do it?
Я говорю.
It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. Or you could have done it over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to the 2 open doors, entered the door on his left. Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. I need you to see. You alright? Is everything alright? Stanley, this is important.
Ладно, продолжим немножко попозже. Я устал.
Without you, do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You can't be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? You listening to this? Stand over there. Okay. It's okay, Howard. Time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right.
Извините, герой.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Кому зашло, то пишите. Можно продолжим?